All right. So again, thank you, Alan, for agreeing to talk to me. Um, yeah, it has been forever since we talked or even messaged, at least 10 years. Um, I know you as a dancer, uh, specifically hip hop. Maybe like there's smaller subcategories, which I don't know anything about. But one thing that we have in common is at some point in high school, you hosted like a dance event or something, and I came with a couple of our friends, and you at the end of the event, you asked like anybody in the audience wanted to come up and do like a freestyle or a dance or something. So I was just so hyped up. I just came up on stage. I don't know what I was doing, but I decided this would be the perfect time to try a headstand for the first time. So I did that, and then I hit my head, and then I could just hear the audience being like, "Oh." I don't know if you remember that.
I I do. I actually do remember that. I thought that was, to be honest, such an incredible moment because it was like very genuine and like that's kind of why I invited the space up for like the audience because it's like y'all gave us your time and you came here to support like a charitable event and that was like very commendable. So it only meant like that like I felt like we had to give it back to y'all as well, right? So yeah, when you were just so amped to come up, like when I tell you your energy was just so like contagious.
Oh, really?
Um, I really appreciated that, because my favorite type of dancing to watch is like when I'm in the club and I just see like people like vibing and just having a good time. That's like because that's just like pure essence, pure enjoyment of the moment. Excuse me. And there are no other variables that like come into play. Like, do I look good?
Right.
What if other people are watching me? Like, if I'm dancing with someone, you know, uh, I'm giving all my energy to that person, and it's an exchange. Um, so yeah, like it's very raw. So that's my favorite type of dancing to see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, after that, I ended up so I went to Waterloo for my for university, and then while I was there for 2 semesters, I took a hip hop dance class, and that was really fun. Um, I mean, I didn't really keep up with it, so it was cool to meet people doing uh dance, and I think I got it out of my system. It's like, well, I tried it. Um so I never got into it. I think it would still be fun to get back into it, but there's so many things I want to do. So anyway, long story short, yeah, I tried it for a bit. I didn't get too far into it.
Right.
But yeah, you've been doing it forever and still doing it. Is this your, obviously you love it, but is this your primary, like, you get work doing this? I mean, I've seen some of your videos. I think you've been in like dance videos and music videos and things like that. So yeah,
Mhm.
how's, I guess, working life as a dancer?
Working life as a dancer is it's incredible. First and foremost, like it's such to be honest, a privilege to be able to, um, you know, like make a living off of like something like the arts. And as much as we all love to create, just to have that avenue for a career choice is, amazing. Because when these art forms were created, like nobody got paid. It was just pure expression, right? Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's incredible, but it's also like very cutthroat.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, you learn a lot of lessons real quick, and you also like learn to have a love-hate relationship with it. But there, yeah, there's definitely a balance for sure.
So like cutthroat meaning like do you have like specific experiences that are like crazy, or is it just like super competitive, or
Oh, I mean, all of the above. Like, it's very competitive because there's just so much talent. Um,
oh yeah.
like there are so many incredible movers, not just in Toronto, let alone Canada. Like, we have so much talent, in like in our own backyard, and the opportunity is just not there. And that's
Oh,
really the issue, right? Yeah. Uh, so it gets competitive because when the opportunity arises, um,
yeah.
like everyone's gunning for the same. You know, everyone's gunning for the same job. So you know when you step into the audition, you know exactly who you're competing with for whichever role.
Right.
And then it's also another job, one of the few jobs where they can just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you don't look like what we're looking for. Maybe you can do,
Oh.
you fit the criteria of all the things that we want the role to do, but you don't look the part. So I'm sorry."
Oh, for
Um,
real?
oh
Wow.
yeah, 100% happens all the time.
Wow. Is it like so like would you say it's about like you don't look the part? Is it um I don't know, like is it like a diversity quota in the video? Like people want like
Yeah.
different
Oh yeah,
ethnicities to
100%.
be shown in their music video, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
But like, I'm not saying that every single audition is like that. I'm
Right.
just saying that like those like it's not uncommon for that to happen. So
Okay.
like rejection is very common is the lesson I'm pointing out here. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with you, and you can't really take it personally. Um,
Mm.
because if you do, then like that's another problem. Like that's something that you got to deal with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have specific experience getting rejected in dance, but it like just applying for jobs, like I've applied for more than like 100. I've sent in 100 applications or so. I've had like 10% call back for like a preliminary interview, and even fewer go to a second round. So yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy because like being rejected sucks, but if you're always competing with fantastic dancers, and then I mean, I don't know, I admire that you've kept it up this long, even when it's like kind of like a pick and choose uh career. It's like you gotta know the you gotta find the exact role that fits perfectly, and there's few of those that come here and there. So yeah, it's no joke getting rejected and keep moving on. So yeah, man.
I mean, when
So
I
yeah,
oh sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was just going to share that like when I first immersed myself into the industry, it was very overwhelming. Um, like what it really truly did, it highlighted a lot of insecurities that I had about myself, really, and it really allowed me to face those and to like accept like myself better for who I am. And it's just like if you um, know that this is what you want to do, like you know that that's what you want to do, and like, it doesn't matter what else happens because I could do anything else in the world, and I could still feel the same. I could still have feel rejection or failure. You
Oh.
know, it's all the same.
So like what did you or have you learned about yourself over the years once you decided to go like all in?
That's um, oh, that's a lot. I
Well,
learned
like
a lot.
one thing, you know, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to find the words, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, hmm, uh, yeah, that like you don't really have to fit the mold of like what society tells you that you think that they think that you need to be or that you need to do, and that you can create your own path and like you may not fit the system that you've been placed in unwillingly, and uh, if you're willing to nurture you, like your and invest in yourself in the path that you chose, like it's incredible like how much you can learn about like anything really. um, it's just like a really refreshing approach to tackling uh, and like issues or like problem solving or thinking critically or even reflecting. Um, not to
Mhm.
say that like um, I don't appreciate like academics. I actually really enjoy it a lot. Um, I just, for me personally, I don't test well. So that was what really what my where my issue lies. Um, so I just accepted that maybe perhaps I don't need to let a degree tell me that I am capable of developing my myself, mind, body, and soul. Um,
Right.
like I can do that on my own, and yeah, it's incredible. Like it's just a very liberating feeling.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, you know, I have an engineering degree, and I've been working in engineering for a while. Um, it's never really been like a passion, you know. It's in high school, I had to choose what to go into, so I ended up choosing engineering because I thought, well, I don't know much about it. It sounds hard, so let's try it out.
Yeah.
I got way more than I bargained for, and it was crazy difficult. And
Oh man, I can only imagine.
s- so, I mean, I finished it, and I had like co-op jobs throughout. So I worked for a few companies for a total of 2 years, and then I got some work after that, a full-time job. So like for me, it's just it's very practical. Like I've done it for so long. It's something I know I can do to earn an income. Um,
Right.
but it's always been like you for me it's always been like you go to work, you do your work, and then whatever other time you have, you do the fun stuff. Like for example, when I say fun stuff, I mean stuff that I'm not expecting to make money out of, like doing this podcast, or um, what else, like drawing, or I was into uh, freestyle rapping for a while, or you know, all the fun stuff. But I've never been courageous enough to like pick something I really like and just like dive 100% in, because yeah, that's, I don't know, maybe that's just the way I am. But yeah, it's but I agree, like you don't need it. Not everyone needs a degree to like show people like I'm smart, or hey, I'm qualified, or I deserve an income. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of your videos on Instagram and stuff, and it's crazy. I can't even do most of that stuff with my body. So it's too bad like people just kind of take it for granted. It's like, oh, he's a dancer, he can move his body, but he doesn't like, I don't know if people think that, but I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. For all I know, they could be thinking that, but for me, my approach with actually, just before I move on to that, to add on to what you were saying, I guess it's not really about like showing others that like you're smart, or that um like you're capable. It's just like it's just more, it's like showing yourself that like you can still continue your path of learning, and develop that on your own, you know, like uh I don't know. I feel like because and this is like, I guess, the segue into what I wanted to say. For me with social media and my approach with it, first and foremost, it's always going to be for me and my personal use. um, I know for many people in my field, it's used as a platform, and yeah, there are many people who find plenty of success in that realm. But for me, it's more like kind of like a MySpace, if you will, um,
Mm.
um, but in the format of IG.
Right. Like a kind of showcase, like, here's what I've done, this is what I'm working on, this is what I enjoy, kind of thing.
Well, yes. It's just that I personally don't find work through it. It's more
Oh,
like a blog, or like a diary or a journal,
okay.
where like a resource that I can come back to remind myself of the things that I'm working on, or projects that I should
Mhm.
touch back on. And it's open for others to come into this space and experience that as well. But um,
Okay.
it, like, first and foremost, it is for myself, if that
So like
makes sense.
as far as sorry, did you have something else to say?
No, no, that's all.
As far as like conditioning,
Yeah.
um, how are you keeping your joints healthy? Because you're doing some crazy postures. At least for me, it's crazy because I don't, do those postures.
Right. My joints. Um, well, I think a good healthy diet is a very big key to that.
Yeah.
Um, and then, as well as like consistent, um, like uh, just consistent practice. Really, like there's there's like a difference between like maintaining health and like pushing your limits, and like trying to
Mhm.
gain more strength, or range, or etc. But to like keep and maintain what you have, like there's a certain amounts of consistency that you need to have, just like walking. you know like we practice walking every day, which is why it's so second nature to us. um but like if we practice um, and push our limits all the time, that could risk injury as well.
Yeah.
So it's very good to have like a good sense of balance of knowing your limitations and when to push, and really just listening to your body, because the body really does talk. And if you listen to it, and you're kind to it, it'll be kind to you.
Yeah, I know firsthand. I run a lot, and at some point I injured my calf, my left calf, a few years ago, and I never really saw a physiotherapist then. I just kind of waited it out, kind of tried to stretch it out and figure it out myself. But eventually, I did see a physiotherapist, and I got some exercises, so I'm doing those things now. But
Amazing.
yeah, I know, like, firsthand, like, balance is very important because right now I don't feel balanced. Basically, the um, inside of my left leg and my left side, like up to my elbows and neck, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it feels like it's more pulling like everywhere. So like this side is loose, but this side is not. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've just been really focused on um, doing a lot of yoga postures. Like I don't know the names, but I think there's like a warrior and mountain and stuff like that. Um, but even with all that, I still ran a lot last year, and I'm starting to notice that if I have to first get the flexibility and mobility in my joints, because then when I'm running, the pounding doesn't like if your muscles are loose and your joints are loose, you can kind of distribute that pounding better throughout your body. Otherwise, even if you're not balanced, um, like that pounding is just gonna impact wherever you're already stiff. So that's where I'm coming at my life from a conditioning point of view. So every day I do some stretches and squats and basic stuff like body weight squats. So um, yeah, that's why I was curious, in what you do, because you're distributing your weight in so many different ways. Like for example, if you do a handstand, even if it's like a transitional move, uh, just like just the momentary force on your wrist, if your wrist's not strong, it could give any at any point. So yeah, I think that's cool, just to like you have more firsthand experience how to feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you actually um like in that video that you're referring to, if you look closely at the first clip, and how there was this sort of weird flow where I was just kind of like, it looked like I was walking side to side, but also supporting my body with my arms. Um, so that was the first clip in the video that you were talking about. Because then later on, you see the pose that you were talking about with all of the load on my wrists.
Mhm.
Um, so really, I wasn't able to get into that pose until I did that flow or did that warm up.
Oh,
Because
okay.
what it was doing is it was warming up my wrists to bear the weight of my body, but I was using my legs to relieve some of that load.
Okay. Interesting.
That makes sense. So it's like, and then also you see you see me doing kind of like this weird cat cow position,
Yeah.
and I'm like rolling around, warming up my wrists.
Yeah.
So like because I know that for that exercise of that session that I wanted to target that pose, the whole
Yeah.
session was targeting everything up leading up to that point.
Oh, okay. So like what would you do if like your hip area, you have your hip flexor, and then um well, my yoga teacher referred to the groin as like there's like an inner groin, outer groin. Anyway, that whole area kind of near your hip joint. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so when you do the what's the pose like? You just kind of squat on the floor, and then you're kind of stretching out your back, right? Um, so I have a really stiff lower back, um, but on the right hip, it's like feels tighter, but my left lower back, like my left hip is fine, my right hip is really tight, but my left lower back is really stiff, and my right lower back is fine. So it's just weird. It's like how do you kind of like how would you kind of stretch out one side but not to the detriment of the other? You know what I mean? Like Any idea?
Do you feel like, excuse me, do you feel like when you're stretching out, it's your left side that's tight, you said, right? Or was it your
It's
right side?
my left lower back, my right hip
Yeah,
area.
your right hip area. Oh, that's interesting. So it's like opposites. They both tight there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to describe. Like what I'm learning just by doing kind of a daily routine is
Yeah.
whatever I think the day before is wrong the next day. It's like, oh, today
Uh,
something else is different. But anyway,
mm,
to answer your question, um, so right now I'm just sitting with like a straight back.
yeah.
So when I sit like this, uh, I can feel uh, like tightness on the front side of my hip, kind of like under the abs, the groin area. So
Okay.
when I like so like let's say I'm on all fours and I'm kind
Yeah.
of doing this with my leg. If I
Huh.
do it on the right side, it's like I hear it clicking, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that explains it. It's really sorry. It's I realize as I'm trying to talk about it, this kind of thing is best to do with demos. So, I mean,
No, no, no. I think I know what you mean. Um, um, hmm. And so the question that you asked was like, you asking like if I had any thoughts on like how to approach that. Was that the question?
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, or just generally like, um, how do you prepare your hips and your groin area? I guess. Uh,
Well, my hips and my groin area. Mobility is a big thing. There are a lot of like mobility exercises that you can do to open up your hips or to loosen them up. Um, a very, very simple one, I can even teach you right now, uh,
okay.
is if you're sitting, just sit on the floor, on your bum, and then stretch your legs all the way out forward. And then you don't have to flex or point your toes, just keep them nice and relaxed. And then
Okay.
try and keep like a nice straight spine. And then what you'll feel is you'll be like on top of your pelvic bone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So and then, but the thing is, you're going to have to sort of engage your core a little bit. And so let, like, engage your core so that you're not like slouching or falling back. You don't want to lean back. You want to like tighten up just ever so slightly to keep yourself up. Yeah.
Mm,
But then also
yeah.
think about like your lower back too. Um, don't let your lower back be too loose. Like you want your muscles to hug your spine.
Okay.
If that
Yeah, no,
makes
I'm
sense.
not
Just
doing it because
yeah.
I've tried and like I always do like I can't really straighten up.
hmm
Um,
That's
so yeah,
just the
that makes
that's
me
just that's just the posture.
okay.
That's the ideal posture that you're going for. It's not going to happen like 90% of the time, but the
Oh, okay.
exercise. Let
Okay,
me,
good.
yeah. So you're on the floor on your bum, got this nice tall posture. What you're going to
Yeah.
do is like, I guess just to get used to it, like rock back and forth from one
Okay.
side to the other. Okay. And then the goal is that you want to lift your hip off of the ground. So you actually have
Interesting.
like a pinch in the side of your oblique here. And so you're
Oh,
pinching here and expanding on the outside,
interesting.
pinching on this side, expanding on the outside. Okay. So that's like the rocking motion. But now what you want to do is when you rock, you push your hip forward and put it down on the ground. So you are literally inching
Oh,
with your hips. You're using your hips to inch forward, and then you can go back.
yeah, that's I'm so
This is a really
excited
good
to try it.
exercise. Really, really good exercise to open up your hips. Here, I'll show you when I'm back here.
Okay.
So, so nice tall posture. Little pinch here. Little
Yeah.
pinch there. And I'm gonna
Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna try that, but I'm pretty sure I won't be able to do it today. But
Yeah.
I guess it's good practice.
It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's really
get it.
simple. It's a lot more of an workout than you think.
Yeah.
So maybe just try going like forward 10 paces and back 10 paces, or like
Oh,
however many times you creep up, and then
okay.
take a break. See how that
Man,
helps.
that's awesome.
But
Excited to try it.
the fact of the matter is that, like, think about unilateral training. Like, you don't want to push your stronger side too far that your weaker side cannot catch up ever.
Okay.
You want to have this certain balance so that, like, your weaker side is challenged while your stronger side is also slightly challenged, so that, like, it can catch up, and then you can progress, you know, for,
Yeah.
like, so, like, that's why this is a great exercise, because it's very even on both sides.
Right.
You're not pushing too much on the other side, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I'll just have to try it because, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I don't know. It feels like it's a never-ending quest to find balance in your body. Um,
Hmm.
but that's life. You gotta figure out where you're out of balance and just kind of reel it in.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But, like, but listening to your body is very key, and that's, like, you're on the right path. Like, that's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's the best that you can do, really. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. This kind of goes back to when we talked about rejection earlier. It's like
mhm,
whenever I feel terrible that I didn't get an interview or
mhm,
I'm not working, it's like I just ask myself, am I doing the best I can? Yes.
mhm,
Uh, do I have to change something? I don't know. Maybe. Then you kind of figure it
mhm,
out. You try it. And if you're doing the best that you can, you can't really blame yourself. I mean, you can blame yourself if you don't do what you think you should be doing. But if you're doing the wrong thing, that's fine as long as you don't realize it. If you know you're doing the wrong thing, that's a problem. I don't know if
mhm.
that makes sense. It kind of went abstract there.
No, no, it makes complete sense.
Okay.
Thank you for
Um,
sharing that.
yeah, yeah. So, how's life during COVID times for you? I mean, you're in Toronto. Um, yeah, Toronto is a pretty big center for the coronavirus. Like, have you been doing okay?
Um, Me personally, I've been doing all right. Um, Probably better than most. Um, the like the pandemic, I guess, has not really affected me as much as it has others. Um, because I don't know, I am quite to myself in general, so it didn't really change how I operated on a day-to-day basis. It just meant that I had less access to the things that brought me peace, or like activities that I would do within the community or within other communities to, fulfill fulfill my life, really. Uh,
Mhm.
that's all it was. Um, and there were way more other. I mean, the COVID in itself, it was a really, really big um, global issue, but I was still sort of processing other things, other worldly events that were going on. Um, so as much as like, I did want to pay attention and to all the details with COVID, it was difficult because there were still so many other things going on that needed I felt needed my attention. Um, but yeah, life has been quite nice otherwise. I'm no stranger to spending time to myself, so I've found uh, actually many other ways to keep myself at peace. So
Yeah, it's been pretty okay for me. Like I'm in the suburbs, so I can get out for a walk. Uh, I don't really need a mask because there's like a lot of room. You can just move away from people if they're getting too close. I mean, it's
yeah,
weird when you walk by someone on the street. I feel like it's not a big deal if you just like pass someone and they're next to you, but for some reason, everyone just moves away from you, except like a handful of people now and then. So I guess it's just a funny thing. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it's been pretty good for me too. Aside from it's kind of affected my job search, but now now we're in another month long lockdown in Ontario. So
hmm
hopefully things you know things get more. Uh, Hopefully you can get out and meet people by the summer or at least like fall. That's my hope.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So let's see. So I saw one of your posts earlier. You're doing a Disney project? Like what's that all about?
Oh shoot, that was a while back.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was last October or November. Um, that we were working on that project. But yeah, really, it was just a very minor role in a Disney film called Spin. So
Okay.
it has this is going to sound really bad, and I question whether or not we should air this, but I I actually cannot recall whether or not it has aired or not. So
Well, let's find out. What's
you
it
know what?
called? Spin?
I Spin. Yeah, I don't think that it has yet,
I
but
haven't heard it because I have Disney Plus. So I don't think I've seen it.
yeah, I mean, I'm uncertain, but um,
Okay.
I don't think it
Let's see.
has yet. It's my guess.
Spin, like SPIN, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Both, like a young DJ and
Okay. I'm looking at a website. It says coming soon.
oh, word, yes. So coming soon. Goddamn, that's funny.
Well, that's cool.
Um, but yeah, it was really cool. It was a pleasure. I got to work for actually a choreographer that I have a lot of respect for. She's a very established member in the community and has worked a lot in this field. And yeah, her name is Caroline Tuarti, and she's just really cool. Yeah, it was really a pleasure to work with her, and um, yeah, it was just it's always really cool to see people in a workplace environment and just to see their demeanor and the energy and how they control space or people. Um, yeah, so it was really a great experience. Um, and yeah, looking forward to more of those opportunities.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'll check it out if you're in it. Is it a dance role then?
Yeah, it's so essentially I'm in like a quick little cut scene in the background with like a bunch of like other dancers. We're just having a little get down session,
Okay.
and then yeah, they get a couple shots of us in that with the lead role who joins us for a number.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool. I don't know. I don't know anything about movies, so when I hear someone's in a movie, I'm just like, wow,
I
that
mean,
guy's in a
yeah,
movie.
it's just such a surreal experience, to be honest. Uh, and I think it really helps to have uh, friends in the production doing it with you, just to help you feel a little bit more comfortable, um, and just to have a little sense of camaraderie while you're um, trying to perform.
Right.
Yeah, just because like it's daunting. Like you just you don't want to you don't want to be the reason why everyone has to redo the shot because like you have like so many people looking at you, right? And you're just like, oh,
Uh,
well, like I don't want to. I just don't want to be that person. It's just like so like, but at the same time, like you just got to be calm and cool and collected and like just trust in your training, yo. Because like the people in like this industry, like they work hard, yo. Um, so yeah, just trust in the work that you put in yourself, and usually it works out. Usually.
so did it happen? Were you the reason for a redo?
Oh hell no. No 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 no. You know,
That's good to hear.
and every single time we did it again, I gave them something different, you know.
Oh,
So, you know, just gotta give them the variety. You know.
wow.
No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm playing.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that must be. Is it different like uh performing for an audience versus the camera? Like I don't know, like because
Very different.
yeah, because like I imagine if you're performing for a crowd, you're um like first of all, if you have a set routine, you wanna nail it, and second of all, you can hear from the crowd like at which point like what they find amazing, or I guess kind of vibe out like how it's going with the crowd. But when it's on camera, it's just like you're just doing your thing, and then you just gotta trust yourself and your choreographer and be like, well, I'm pretty sure it'll look great on camera.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't work out like that. You know, like sometimes uh, like there have been times where I've been asked to do things where I am like not necessarily comfortable with, or like I just like I don't feel like I'm that great at, um but I still have to deliver, right? But it's like knowing that you gave it your all and did your best shot is like a big W enough for me to walk away happy, even if like I might not use that shot for my reel, or you know, um may not be like like proud of it. Like I might be very critical of it. Um, just because I like to have like I like to have a lot of integrity with my work. And when I say that, um, the approach means everything to me. Um, so learning not just the movement is enough. Um, for me, I need to know the history. I need to know where it came from, what was happening during that
Uh,
time. Why did the people feel this way? Why did this like discipline come from this place, and why did this part of the dance come from this place? What was the music like? What was happening in politics? You know, what was Toronto or Canada's relationship to it? Do we have people going back and forth? Like, um,
yeah.
so, and that's just the bare minimum
Yeah.
to learn that and understand that, and then studying the music is the biggest thing. The music literally tells you how to dance. Like
Oh,
when you go back and listen to like the music that the creators of these dance were inspired by,
Yeah.
it actually teaches you how to do the dances. And I'm talking about like funk styles and street dance and hip hop.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know. Like I as someone who just watches people dance, it's just super cool when I can't even put my finger on it. Like when I don't know, like some like songs and a dance, like they just kind of fit. Sometimes they don't fit. It's like it's like a whole world I know nothing about because I guess you like in b-boying, just from what I've seen, it's like when you want to hold a pose, I guess you gotta accent it for a like a pause in the song or like some kind of specific on beat. So that's kind of what you're talking about.
Um, Pardon me. Sorry.
No, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to figure
yeah.
out like how like are you saying would you like you would obviously create your choreography based on the
Oh,
song. You
yes.
wouldn't
Oh, I
do
see.
this.
I understand the question. Pardon me. I was just um trying to remember what it's everything was that I said just prior to that. But
Okay.
yes, that would be correct. The music for that would be a great example of it. Um, a freeze. It's called a freeze.
Okay. Yeah.
When you pose or like hold a pose or stop um, with like any position really. Like this could be a freeze,
Yeah.
and I'm just sitting on my bum, or I
Yeah.
could do that crazy thing, you know.
See.
Yeah, uh, but it like either way, all in all, like I could do that crazy thing so out of pocket and off beat and like like out of nowhere basically, and just it won't make any sense. Or I could like hear that bam, and just
Right,
hit
right,
this
right.
pose. Like that's so much more fly to me than anyone like doing anything. So like yeah, the music, that's a great example. The music will literally tell you how to do these dances. And watching old footage of the creators of these dances is another great example of learning, uh, just to see um, what has been done and their approach as well.
Mhm. So so I take it then that you kind of study dance as well. Like you kind of mentioned, you learned the history of
Mm-hmm.
uh where the what was going on at the time. Uh like hip hop is well, like hip hop, like dance as as a genre of dance is kind of mixed in with let's see, DJing, rapping, uh, b-boying, and there's a fourth one. I don't know what the fourth one is.
Graph or
Oh, graffiti. Yeah,
graffiti, graffiti. Yeah.
yeah. So I was really like, I was all into learning about hip hop and stuff, and I really just got into it through music in high
Mm-hmm.
school. Like, but it mostly like started in the states, and it's kind of been an export to the world. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's fascinating that how like the music is just hip hop music is just tied in with the dance element of it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of got out of being like into hip hop music a few years ago. So like
Mm-hmm.
before trap became popular, like that's kind of when I exited. So I don't know, like what's the thing these days? I guess I don't know. I'm just curious, like what kind of what inspires you like music wise? Like I think it's like I've heard some like R&B and kind of the b-boy style.
Um, Honestly, I spend a lot of time listening to music.
Okay.
Um, so I guess what inspires me is when I'm listening to the music, the what I see and feel with it. Um, because I do see color when I listen to
Oh,
music, and
cool.
it give I do feel music, especially when it I mean obviously when it's coming from speakers, right? Anyone can feel that, but like if I were to even plug in like earbuds or headphones, like I could feel that. And it's not just music, like anything auditory, like I'll kind of like feel it. I'm very aware of it.
Yeah, my I had a friend who also had, I think it's called synesthesia, where you see colors based on the sound. And we
Mm-hmm.
were at a concert, and then something was out of tune, and he was like, "Ah, I just see red." It's like kind of those like dissonant sounds. He didn't like it because he just saw red everywhere.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's great. And for me, I actually discovered this not too long ago. I was having a conversation with a friend, and I was just describing it as if it was normal, right? Because I thought this was
Oh, okay.
how everyone perceived it. And then she actually informed me about of synesthesia and what
Wow.
it actually meant. And I was yeah, I was blown away.
Wow. So you see like do you see color like individual colors, or is it like a palette? Or is it kind of like changing based on the song? Like how does that work?
It varies. Like it could be like literally like a kaleidoscope, or it could be like a hue,
Mm,
or like a filter. You know what I mean? Like how it just kind
right.
of like changes the whole hue of the entire screen, if you will.
That's cool. So man, I guess yeah, for you it's like a whole another level for uh like how you're vibing with the song. Like for me, if I'm near loud speakers, it's like you can feel the vibration in your body. That's one part of it. And then you get kind of sense of a feeling based on what you're hearing. Like I don't know, you might get a sense of nostalgia, or you might feel happy or sad, but then you throw in visual colors in there. That's crazy.
So yeah, that has a big effect on what inspires me musically. Um, but I mean, honest to God, like all the music, it gives me the most inspiration. Like when I just like the further back that I go, like I was just having a conversation with a couple of friends who study classical music, and they were telling me, oh man, it's so freaking interesting. They were telling me that like sometime before the 1800s, there was no notation on sheet music, uh, whether or not to like go louder or softer or play, at this tempo, or or something, etc.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm incorrect about that last one, but yeah, basically there was just a no notation, and the top like musicians just knew where to manipulate the sheet music
Right.
from listening and learning from the creators, like I guess. But like it's just like kind of cool how organic it must have been to learn that way, um, with no radio, and live music is
Yeah.
the only option to experience music. apart from like they may have like an upright piano at home.
Mm.
Like because that was like the first form of radio, sheet music. Like this is like the latest like big thing,
Yeah.
and everyone printed out sheet music. They just took it home and played it on their harpsichord or upright piano.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's just really cool. And it's just like I cannot fathom not having the ability to listen to music all the time.
I
Because
know.
for me, it's just such a big part of my life.
I think it's like it's partly a shame because like when I go to concerts and I hear the artist play a song that I've heard a lot already, I'm just like, okay, cool. Like I could have heard this at home, you know? Like that's just me because like I don't know, like some people go to concerts for like the concert vibe, but I've always gone to like just to listen to the band play live. Like I remember I went to a Billy Talent concert a few years ago. That one was fun because like I was really into them when I was younger, and then I finally got to see them, so that was cool. Um, but other concerts, it's just like cool. I mean, I have your album on my playlist on my Apple Music. I'll go listen to it there. But I don't know. It's weird. It's like you have music just at the tip of your fingers any time of day you want, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. I don't know what like even buying CDs. Like I don't buy CDs anymore. You just get an Apple Music subscription. It's there. So
Yeah,
in a weird way, it feels expendable. It's like not as special. Like when it costs money to go out and buy an album, it was like, all right, I got to choose the album, and I gotta listen to
I
all the
go to
songs because I paid
HMV.
$10 for it. Yeah, yeah, HMV. But now it's like, I don't know. It's just like another page on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Um, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm not a big concert goer.
Oh, okay.
It's I'm very particular with the concerts that I go to, and they most of the time will not be a large scale. It'll be like a smaller, intimate, uh, more intimate vibe. It's just too overstimulating.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like yeah,
Like
it's
like
crazy.
do you see like crazy colors if you're at a huge gathering?
Yeah, and then like the amount of energy with like the amounts of people is just it can be very overwhelming for me
Like
personally.
like you
Like
get
I have to
headaches
be in a
or
very no, just like it's just a lot.
yeah, okay.
Um, um, just gets overbearing. That's all.
Man,
I
yeah.
get tired. I want to sit down and just like yeah. But I have to be in a very particular mood to
Yeah.
want to go to like a like large scale concert.
Man,
It can be great.
I was at an Ed Sheeran concert a few years ago, and it was
Yeah.
at the Rogers Center. There were
Right.
thousands of people there, and I was like 8 rows from the front. And at some point, I just looked behind me, and the first thing I thought of, man, if something happened and we have to leave the stadium, there's no way I'm getting out. I'm stuck here. There were so many people. Oh,
Dang.
then I was like, all right, well, if that happens, I'm screwed anyway. I might as well just enjoy the music for now. Oh, yeah. So what's your music setup? Is it just like speakers at home? Just kind of just chill, just kind of enjoy it at home.
Okay, hold up. My roommate just needs to walk across.
Oh, okay.
He's good. Yeah, no
No
worries.
worries.
All good. All good. Pardon me. What was the question?
What's your music setup? Just like speakers at home, or you just use like
Uh,
your phone, or
yes, I have speakers, like monitors, um, set up. Um, also have like over the ear headphones. I also have these AirPods, which are very, very handy. They're more practical, if anything. The sound is it's pretty dope, but
Mm.
I don't I don't think you pay the price for the sound. You pay the price for the practicality of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, but yeah, I invested a lot more into the over the ear headphones because um, you can get much better sound quality with those. And yeah, I actually do plan on getting a new set of uh, desktop speakers because
Mm.
um, I like mine. I just not a fan of. They just take too much space, and I just need
Oh yeah.
to change that. But yeah, very particular about um sound.
Yeah, my friend of mine has over the ear headphones. I'm just trying to remember what brand it is, but it's yeah, it's like a high quality sound, and I listened to a song by John Mayer. It's called "Still Feel Like Your Man." I don't know if you maybe have heard it. It's kind of old. Okay,
I
it's
think so. Yeah. Which album is it off?
the Search for Everything, I think.
I think. I mean, I mean, if I heard it, I probably recognize it.
Anyway, the beginning of the song, there's like this. I don't know what it is. It might be what are those things called? You know those like chime things? Like
Yeah,
you can
like a
just kind of like
triangle. Oh, like a
no,
chime.
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
the one with
It's like
the hanging.
yeah, and then it sounds like
Okay.
I can't anyway. Like
Yo, do that again, please.
so
Okay.
basically
Thank you for
like
that.
we did an experiment. So I listened to that song. I have like these AKG headphones. I don't know, it's
Yes.
like a basic headphones, and he had the DT 990 Pros, uh,
I don't
some fancy one. Anyway, uh,
know.
so yeah, we listened to it with my headphones and his headphones, and it was like I just the sound like didn't exist when I heard
Mm,
it on my headphones. Like I listened to it and I was like, what is this new sound? But then I went back to the old ones and I was like, oh, this
mm,
sound actually does exist, but it just sounds crisper. Like, you know, if you hit the chimes, there it's gonna reverberate and it'll kind of die down.
mm.
On my older headphones, it just kind of like it either it just cut off real quick, but on these other ones, it
Yeah.
kind of lingers. So yeah, it's crazy.
Um, there's this company, or probably a few companies by now, but I haven't had the pleasure of owning a pair, but they like instead of having like the traditional like speaker, they actually have like just like a film in the
Oh,
over the in the compartments, and that's what creates the sound. And apparently, it has like such a really high quality sound, and they're very affordable as well. I'm gonna oh, freak. I can't remember off the tip of my tongue,
so like
but
they don't have a
I can.
speaker
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have
for
the
the.
speaker. It's just like the material is just like a film. It's not your
Oh, okay,
traditional speaker. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I guess if you
Um.
have like a thin film, you can uh, make it reverberate based on the sound, which would create your acoustics in the ear. Sounds cool.
I'm uncertain of how it works exactly, but
Okay.
yeah, I'll look into it and I'll like get back to you on that. I'll send it over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely sounds cool. Uh, but actually, uh, what I've been doing is so I've been watching Iron Fist on Netflix, season two, and I watch it on a TV, but I use my headphones, and it's so much better because there's noise going around in the house, and then it's way more immersive if you just wear the headphones.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love it, and the yeah. Actually, I love listening to music in shows. Like I'll listen to it and then I'll go back and listen to the album afterward.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
So like the Daredevil soundtrack is pretty good, but my favorite is the Jessica Jones one. It's really good.
Sweet. Um, so I'm not like a huge like TV person. I
Okay.
don't really watch a lot of TV. So
See.
it's yeah, it's it's funny because it's kind of the field that I work in, but I don't really watch a lot of it. Um, but I'm slowly trying to get better at it. I would rather watch
What?
anime, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I Years ago I watched the first season of Attack on Titan, and I still haven't gone past that. So I'm excited to at some point do that. Yeah,
Sweet.
just the latest one I saw was a Sword Art Online. You heard of it?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What are you watching these days?
Um, well, I'm kind of like watching with my roommates. He's watching One Piece.
Oh, geez, that's
Uh,
so long.
he's up to date, but I'm kind of slowly catching up, slowly,
Wow.
and I emphasize the slow. um, but yeah, I'm really getting into the this other one that he's watching called Haiku. Um, I think it's a
Okay.
volleyball one. It's actually kind of funny. I mean, funny in that it's I like it. I hate that I like it, but I like it.
That's what anime is. You hate that you like it. As you get older, that's what you think. Everybody thinks that. Yeah. Um, yeah. Have you heard of
Um,
Baki?
no, I have not.
Bro, it's a fighting anime. It is the most
Yeah.
ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It's There's a scene where the main character, I mean, it's a spoiler, but it's not a huge spoiler, so I'll just tell you about the one scene.
Yeah, I don't mind
Like,
about spoilers. Spoil away.
okay, he's a fighter, and at some point in his gym class, he has to run he has to run a lap or a couple of laps around the track or something like that. So he's like killing it for the first little bit, and then he gets a cramp or something, and he just like falls down, and he comes in last. And that announcer, the narrator, is just like, but since Baki didn't train, blah blah blah. It's like this epic explanation of why he can't complete it. And as I tell you this story, I realize it's not funny. But when I was watching it, it was funny.
Hmm.
That's the key.
It's one of those that you just had to watch it.
Yeah,
Baki, though, hey?
yeah, uh,
Where do you
yeah.
watch it?
It's on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a it's originally like it's originally an anime from the '90s, I think, but uh, like they they added new seasons a few years ago, so it's not like a reboot. It's like a continuation. I've only seen the continuation. Um,
Right, right.
I want to give you another spoiler, but just in case you watch it, I don't
Do
want
it.
to tell you because it's like right at the end. So
It's okay. Like I won't. I'm not like it doesn't bother me. Like I'll actually forget about it and get to the moment, enjoy it, and be like, oh yeah, he told me that. So
so
if
basically,
you want to, if you compelled to, I don't mind.
there's this dude, and he's so strong he can change the shape of his muscles.
Shoot.
So like he does like this pose, and on the back, I think one of the lines is like, "Oh my god, his back turned into a demon face, and it's just the face of a demon on the back." It's so crazy. I love it. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Yo, if anyone's back did that, I would pull 180. No, I ain't about that. No, man. Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Why would you? Oh dear. Yo, anime is the funniest shit. Like this, some of the shit that you see is so questionable. It's hilarious. Yeah.
there's this other scene where this like really old dude is fighting this really strong dude, and he
Mhm.
defeats him by dying. Like he's like the strong dude is just like, I can't punch a dead man, so he dies. Then he comes back to life and he's like, I won. It's the craziest thing.
What?
I know
That's
it doesn't make
crazy.
sense. That's why it's
It
amazing.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I love anime.
Yeah. What are you watching right now?
Right now I'm on pause because I just caught up to Sword Art Online. Then I
Hmm.
think on my list I have Attack on Titan, which I haven't seen for a long time,
Hmm.
so I might just have to restart from the beginning.
Hmm.
Let's see, I have a list of. Uh, it's not on here.
A
Yeah,
never-ending
nothing right
list,
now.
eh?
Yeah, I hate it.
It seems to only grow.
It's the worst. And now they have Netflix, they have Prime, they have Disney Plus, they have
Yeah.
Crave.
I think that's a big part of why I just like can't get into it because it's just like too much. I'm just like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's the wise decision. Yeah.
Also, there's just like not enough time in the day to commit to all of that.
Yes. My strategy is I watch one or two shows at a time and I one episode a day. So
Hmm.
it's
That's
like,
cool
uh,
because I also feel like you don't get to enjoy shows if you just watch it all in like a night or something. Like it's like, did you really watch it or like you know?
well,
I
it's
mean,
like, it's what you,
some people.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just about to say some people can really do that. They'll like I've got a homie who's got like a photographic memory, so she'll watch a whole show like beginning to end in like a week or like less than, and she'll know everything about it. I'm like, you are. How do you have a job? Like what? It's crazy. Like yeah, I don't know how she does it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, for me, I can't do that. I gotta process it little by little.
Yeah, I think, yeah, one time I watched the whole, like, what is it? Like the whole first arc of Bleach, which is like 60 some odd episodes. I
Yeah.
just started at
Like,
4 p.m. one day, like a Friday. Maybe it wasn't from episode one, maybe like episode 12 or something. I started at
yeah.
4 p.m. and I just watched continuously until I finished the first arc. I think I finished at
Mhm.
like 5 a.m. or something. And it was a rewatch. So I'd already seen it. I'm never doing that again because that was crazy. It was, I don't know why I did it.
Uh,
I think I just, maybe it was a rough week at work and I just had to relax. And then I just got obsessed. I was like, well, let's watch 50 episodes.
wow. I that's impressive actually. Did you like how many episodes a day was that?
Oh, how many would it have been?
Yeah. Did you do it all in a day? No. No
No, no,
way.
I did. Yeah, like in 12 to 14 hours, I just watched continuously. Uh,
Wow.
that's not
Wow.
common. Like that's like one time that I did that.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, well that's impressive. I mean, just because I don't know, I don't think I could do that personally.
yeah, I wouldn't
Um
recommend it.
no.
Uh,
Mm,
but yeah, usually it's an episode a day because yeah, I'm like you. I've learned like it feels better to have the anticipation for the next day because then you kind of think about it like, oh man,
mhm,
are they gonna fight?
mhm,
Hmm, that kind of stuff.
mhm.
Yeah.
Um so I think I do have maybe perhaps like 5 or 10 more minutes.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. Oh, geez. That's the closing. That's like a 10-minute warning siren, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess yeah. Thanks for chatting again. I know I kind of started out like an interview because I was just interested,
Oh
but
no, of course.
yeah,
I mean, it was really cool. It was like kind of like a big catch-up session.
yeah,
um, and yeah, very happy to hear from you. Actually, very um, thankful to reconnect with you again. It's been a long time coming.
yeah. I love catching up with people, and yeah. I mean, we don't always have to do this because usually it's just like I tell people like, yeah, I'm down to chat whether it's for the podcast or not. So yeah, we can do that. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's cool. So you're in Toronto. Do you have any projects going on right now? I mean, it's
Um,
I guess it's hard because it's Corona time, but yeah.
yeah, very difficult currently given the circumstance. Uh, but couple um, couple projects. Like I'm helping out in a production for one of my teachers and mentors. He's working on a little docu series, um, and so yeah, just helping him out with that. And another project that one of my homies wanted to do. Uh, so yeah, looking forward to that. We haven't really figured out exactly when it was going to happen, just because of timing and all that, and
Oh,
COVID. So yeah, there's those, and I think that would be all for now. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Good luck with everything. Um,
yeah. Thank you so much.
and yeah, I guess I will stop recording.